So, when you are kind of getting into the health of yourself and you're learning about, you know, all the right things to do, so all the things that can work, all the things that you're like, why didn't I do this sooner? But I need to do this. And so, but a thing that's very important when you're getting into health and you want to work out and do all these things is to know what's going on with your body. So, using myself as an example to relate to you, you know, and kind of connect on this level. I had worked out for years without stretching. And psychologically, if you want to get into the psychology of that, it is because when you go to work out, you're let's say you kind of like heavily rely on music, which I actually don't think is a bad thing at all. I think it's like the main motivator because it's giving you more time to listen to your music. And you get excited and you burn all this energy at once. And you feel sort of half guilty because you hadn't worked out, or you're getting into this routine and you're like, why have I just not always done this? And so, and then you might feel, like I said, overexcitement. You got your most like motivational music. It can be any genre, but just like it doesn't even matter the genre at this point. You're just like, I found my song, you know. And so you work out harder, whether you're on a machine or you're like kind of on your own without a machine or whatever. You work out harder for that song specifically. And you're not thinking about stretching, you're not thinking about your muscles. And so the importance of stretching psychologically can help prepare you not only for your muscles to loosen your muscles up. This can prepare you mentally to start at a slower pace and then work your way up into a faster pace. And don't be afraid of taking your time. You might be tempted to like work out for 5 minutes and then you're like, well, I did some form of movement, I'm done. But see, that means you're not enjoying your workout at that point. You have got to do some things that you're going to like doing. So I use music as an example because I love to dance to my music. That is like the main motivator to get me to work out. If somebody came up and said, leave your headphones here, leave your phone here, leave whatever here and let's go to a machine and work out. Like, I might do it for a minute just because I'm going to prove that, hey, I can do this. But that's not for someone, like me, or maybe you can relate to this. That's not always going to be the key to making you want to work out, because it's part of the psychological reason that all of us have developed a routine of working out, because other animals, they hunt and gather, they run around, they have their motives, their reasons. They want to gather food, they want to mate, they want to burn off energy for a little bit, they need to go to the bathroom. I'm talking about like pets and stuff, because those are the animals that you see on a daily basis, and you're going to relate to that more, right? So, but when it comes to the psychological reasons, we work out because we want to get motivated, not only in the body, but in our space of, mentally, and especially like if you're a spiritual person and things like that, um, you want to think about like that sort of energy. So um, you've got to do something you enjoy. It could be swimming. It could be you're out running around in the snow, um, having snowball fights. It does not have to be a conventional workout at all, though. That's the problem. It's too much of a structure to think about, and it's too much of a routine to think about, but it does not have to be that way at all. And so I get reinforcement, positive reinforcement out of my workouts. I've gotten to the point once in a while, all the time, to where I can go in and if instead of, dwelling on things, I go in and go and be alone, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to find a song. I'm going to do a workout to this song, dancing with integrated yoga, things like that. Whatever I feel like at the time. And then, I'll come back and do a longer workout when I have the time, but like that song and that reinforcement can help you, if you're somebody who heavily relies on music. If you're not somebody who heavily relies on music, what do you get out of working out? Because it cannot be guilt. That's the biggest mistake you can make. It cannot be, because my health and I have to, and I want people to see that I'm doing something, and I'm tired of people calling me fat. It can't be for those reasons. It's got to be because you feel something. You feel some kind of positive reinforcement. Now, I've started doing something harder and more challenging, which is resistance training, where I'm standing on a little machine you get from Amazon with a little arm bands with handles, and I'm pulling those up. So it's okay to challenge yourself. Like, I'm not saying that workouts should be easy exactly. What I am saying psychologically, though, from that perspective, is it's very important to mentally have a reason, mentally get something out of working out. It's got to be for you, not for your spouse, not for your mom and dad who worry about your weight, not for your friends over on Instagram because you want to look skinnier in your photos, not for anybody else but you. It's got to be, your workout has got to be your therapy session, your alone time, your everything. It's got to be something that you want to do. I want to get more into this in future episodes because it's important to examine why you work out. And so I think this has been, like I said, not stretching for years is kind of a result of like overexcitement because of wanting to prove and all that kind of stuff, not wanting to take the time on the body, but mentally wanting the reinforcement really fast, and to kind of prove to others of not being lazy. That's kind of why I wouldn't stretch. That's the psychological reason why. So there might be psychological reasons why you don't work out, because you feel like it has to be such a big structure. There might be psychological reasons why you work out too hard, as myself. And I've also gotten into those things where I wouldn't work out for a while, like months or whatever. But again, it's got to be what you feel. It's got to be, if you want to take a power walk outside, it turns into a run. And you do that every day. If you have the TV going and you feel like kind of tired of sitting there, and there is nothing wrong with doing something like doing some kind of stretches in your legs or your arms as you're watching your TV that feel good to your body and give you something else to do, so that you're not falling asleep. Like, it's got to be integrated into our lives more. It can't be something with such a big structure and such a big guilt trip, frankly. It's got to be something, it's got to be your time, your me time, your you time. It's got to be your you time working out. And it's got to be something that you come up with yourself that's going to make you feel good. So I want to do a future episode into the specifics of more ideas about this because I think it's important. And getting back into the muscle health aspect of it, if you are kind of, you've been kind of working out, and maybe you're new to stretching and your back muscles have suffered a little bit, try to like press your fingers within your back and kind of feel how stiff it is. Try stretching in different positions, like putting your arms out in front of you and reaching really far, like laying on your stomach, putting your arms out in front of you, reaching, really far out in front of you. Your back muscles will stretch, try different things like that. And then if it's still kind of stiff, or you kind of like realize you move around a lot and when you're trying to sleep because your body is like really stiff, there's nothing wrong with taking, if you can't kind of get rid of the tension by doing these stretches, there's nothing wrong with kind of resting and having, a couple muscle relaxers if you have to, or, and also kind of maybe simultaneously kind of thinking about things that may have kind of gotten to you. And again, it could just be working out related, it could be stress related, but think about all those things and think about how much do they really matter, and think about, and do, as you're thinking about these things and you're kind of like paying more attention to your back muscles, you need to think about kind of what could be stressing you out, and start writing, and I want you to start deep breathing. So that's it, just breathe through your nose and move your stomach inward as you breathe. There's plenty of, in a previous episode, I put some kind of breathing exercise videos and meditation and yoga exercises. You can go check those out. Those will help your psyche, your muscles, everything. So, yeah, I put that in a couple episodes ago. So I'm going to probably do a future episode soon because a little bit more maybe specific techniques, but this is more of a kind of a I wonder about you. Like, I wonder why, what is, because this is something that's affected me. So I'm kind of wondering if it affects all of us, and you specifically. What is it about working out that you want to cut out, that you don't like, and what can you do to make it more of a enjoyable experience? Like I said, it does not have to have a structure to it. Now, some people get better they feel better with the structure because they want that like mentorship. And that's awesome, because it gives them that social, um, kind of that social time with someone. So, there's nothing essentially wrong with having like if you're going to do the structured way, um, I would recommend like getting that social experience, but those trainers can be pretty expensive. Um, so for kind of somebody that's on a budget and things like that, like I said, um, you could go to um, Planet Fitness. It's actually a pretty good gym, and you can pay $10 a month with no contract if you want that social kind of experience. There's nothing wrong with any of that. However, what I'm saying is, if you're at home and you just don't like working out, it's because you're not doing things that are mentally stimulating as well, and that are, you know, that lift your spirits. Because you have to lift your spirits up, and you got to lift yourself up. You got to get some positive reinforcement out of the workout. And then you work your way up to more challenge. But it's gotta, like I said, ultimately it's gotta be your you time, whatever that looks like.